These are the Daily Tech headlines for Friday, November 28, 2025. I'm Rob Dunwood. Apple was the only major smartphone brand to see growth during China's Singles Day, with iPhone 17 demand boosting its sales by 3% year over year and giving it a 26% market share. Excluding Apple, overall smartphone sales dropped by 5%, reflecting broader consumer caution despite the festival reaching 1.7 trillion won in total sales. Xiaomi took the second largest share at 17% despite a sales decline, while Huawei saw the biggest drop at 13% share after missing the sales window for its Mate 80 flagship. Both Google and OpenAI have significantly reduced the daily generation limits for free users of their AI tools due to high demand and a shift toward monetization. OpenAI's Sora now limits free users to 6 video generations daily, offering additional purchases, though paid ChatGPT limits are stable. Google's Nano Bannana Pro has cut image generation for free users from 3 to 2 per day and also appears to be restricting free access to Gemini 3 Pro. Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney argues that digital storefronts should drop made with AI tags, claiming the disclosure will soon be pointless as AI becomes standard in game development, comparing it to asking about a developer's shampoo. Sweeney, whose opinion is shared by Nextcon CEO Jung-Hoon Lee, feels the disclosure is only relevant for rights concerns like in-art licensing. While Steam recently eased its rules to allow most AI-developed games with disclosure, some indie developers are actively using an AI-free label as a marketing strategy. China's National Development and Reform Commission has warned of a potential bubble in the country's rapidly growing humanoid robotics industry, citing concern over more than 150 companies developing similar products. Beijing fears excessive investment could lead to market oversaturation and stifle genuine R&D. Despite the sector's explosive growth, widespread adoption remains distant. Authorities plan to introduce market entry-exit mechanisms, support core R&D, and promote industry consolidation to accelerate real-world application. The European Union is currently determining if Apple Maps and ad services should be designated as gatekeepers under the Digital Markets Act, a status Apple already holds for Safari, iOS, iPadOS, and the App Store. This designation applies to services with significant EU user bases of 45 million monthly end users and 10,000 yearly business users, and imposes strict rules such as banning self-preferencing. Apple has argued against the designation, claiming its Maps usage is low compared to rivals like Google Maps, and Apple Ads is not a major force in online advertising compared to services from Google, Meta, TikTok, and X. Google has withdrawn its EU antitrust complaint against Microsoft cloud computing practices, which Google alleged locked in customers on the Azure platform. This withdrawal comes as the European Commission has announced its own independent investigation into potentially anti-competitive practices in the cloud sector. The EC will examine if features in the cloud reinforce the market power of Microsoft Azure at 20% market share and Amazon Web Services at 30% market share, with Google holding a 13% share. Defense tech startup Anduril Industries, valued at $30.5 billion and founded by Palmer Luckey, faces scrutiny after a WSJ report detailed multiple autonomous weapons testing failures. Setbacks include drone boat failures in a Navy exercise, damage to its Fury jet in a ground test, and its Anvil counter-drone system starting a large fire. The company's technology also saw issues in Ukraine, where forces reportedly stopped using its Altuus drones due to crashes. Anduril maintains these are normal development challenges. And finally, Google is reporting developing an image annotation tool for Gemini to enhance the editing of AI-generated images. This new feature, spotted by @testing catalog, would allow users to precisely draw or add text to images before downloading, offering a more accurate and time-saving alternative to text-based prompts and external editing apps for visual modifications. The release date and final arrival of the feature are currently uncertain. For more analysis of the tech news of the day, subscribe to dailytechnewsshow.com. You can find show notes and links to all the headlines there as well. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.